I call this June 1st meeting of the Paducah Planning and Zoning Commission to order and ask that you please stand and join us as we say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Gentlemen, please join us. Glad to have you here.
You all have to stand up and do what we did. We do. Go any further.
Ms. Irvin, would you call the roll, please?
Yes, ma'am. Benberry?
Here.
Bradford?
Here.
Morrison? Schramke?
Here.
Shadle?
Here.
Wade?
Here.
Chair Crecilius.
Here. Ms. Schramke, I believe you have the first item of business.
I do. I move that the reading of the minutes for May 18th, 2015 be waived, and that the minutes of said meeting, as prepared by the Secretary, be approved as written.
Second.
Second by Shadle. Are there any corrections or comments? Call the roll, please.
Yes, ma'am. Schramke?
Aye.
Shadle?
Aye.
Wade?
Aye.
Benberry?
Aye.
Bradford?
Aye.
Chair Crecilius.
Aye. Mr. Wade, you have the public hearing.
I move that a resolution entitled "A Resolution Constituting the Final Report of the Paducah Planning Commission on the Proposed Zoning Change from R-1 Low Density Residential Zone to HBD Highway Business District for the property located at 81 and 91 Plantation Drive and 2855 Lone Oak Road be adopted."
Second.
Second by Benberry and Schramke. You have before you the plat. Would you like
Yes.
to give us a little background?
If you'd like. This was a consensual annexation where the property owner approached the city about annexation. The annexation is of Banks Market, a gasoline station, and a strip center. The intent to annex has already gone before the City Commission and adopted. The zone change is now before the Planning Commission, and this is a public hearing. With this recommendation, it'll go back to the City Commission, and the City Commission will take up the zoning as well as a final annexation ordinance. But this was consensual. It was brought to us by the property owner.
And of course, as an annexation, it always comes in as an R1 and then should be changed to whatever is appropriate.
Yes, ma'am.
I believe you have background, too, as far as the properties that are surrounding this are already HBD. So that would make this an appropriate designation for this particular property. Does anybody else have any questions or comments they would like to make?
No others, except that the future land use plan does designate this as a commercial area in the future. Obviously, there's commercial already there, so it's in compliance with the comprehensive plan as our land use plan depicts this area as commercial.
Thank you. Any other comments? Call the roll, please.
Wade?
Aye.
Benberry?
Aye.
Bradford?
Aye.
Schramke?
Aye.
Shadle?
Aye.
Chair Crecilius.
Aye. Mr. Shadle, you have the waiver of subdivision.
Yes. I move that this commission receive and file an application of J. Pittman, M.D., for the proposed re-subdivision of property located at 441, 455, 36th Street. Further move that the requested approval be given in compliance with all other applicable provisions of the Paducah subdivision ordinance be waived.
Second.
Second by Benberry.
This survey is of two residential tracts that's owned by Dr. Pittman. He is selling the larger tract that you see here designated as Track 1, and we are modifying the property line between Track 1 and Track 2 You can see where there's, on the right-hand side of Track 1, we're abolishing the existing line, a portion of it, and establishing a new line that follows a privacy fence and some landscaping that is primarily used with Track 1. So Dr. Pittman wanted it to go with that residence.
Questions, comments?
Was there one request from the Engineering Public Works Department? Did you receive any comments?
Yeah, she caught a spelling error. That was about it. Typo.
Are there any setbacks established in that subdivision? I know it's a fairly old.
No, this is extremely old. There's nothing with the original subdivision that I'm aware of. The only thing that would apply would be current zoning. Of course, a lot of this was, I don't know what the age is on some of these residents in here, but it could be there prior to even what we have as current zoning for the area. I don't know if you know any history on that, Steve.
I imagine these.
I'm looking at another dotted line, lot line that seems to go through a garage. Is that included in what we're looking at?
Is that on the left-hand side?
It's being abolished.
It had been abolished previously by Plat Section H, page 44, and Plat Section H, page 70. And the other two interior track lines were abolishing by this plat, or by this survey that goes through the house.
So that lot line abolishment was never really recorded, or?
It was recorded. We put it on here just for illustration
Information.
purposes.
We were talking before the meeting, and we counted 4 encroachments, but that's just part of pretty much what's here.
They already exist.
Yep.
Will not be altered, I don't think.
That's right. None of the lines are being moved in the areas where the encroachments appear. So
That's correct.
And we're not creating any new ones?
No. Actually, taking care of some by doing this line takes care of some encroachments that would remain otherwise.
the only question I had any idea about, and it's because it's really not shown on the plat, is the pool area. And basically, you're just following a fence line that.
That is the fence is right up against the concrete pad of the pool, and this puts the fence with the track 1, and the concrete pad is with track 2.
Okay.
I was wondering that also, why we're going from this nice straight line to...
Well, we're following the fence doesn't run a straight line. It runs parallel with the concrete pad of the pool in that immediate area, and then from the south end of the pool area, it goes down to the alley at a straight line, and then as it goes north from the pool area, the fence actually has a bow in it, or an angle in it, and that's the reason for the intermediate point there.
I also understand that there's some landscaping.
Oh, yeah, quite a bit.
That they wanted to keep as well, rather than cut in halves.
Right.
This particular house has a pool for all seasons. It has an indoor pool.
Yes, that's right. Might also note that this area here, that where we're bonifying the line, that is on a slope, and this would, and the landscaping is on the slope, and it's actually used with track 1, so it really cleans it up for how it's being used by doing this.
I grew up in this neighborhood, and I have one more question.
Sure.
Is the fallout shelter still buried in the backyard?
I didn't see one.
One next door.
Oh, one next door.
I thought it was the big one. It wasn't there?
Oh, it's the one that Miller Grumley has.
Okay.
This one was owned by Famous Gilbert built it, and then Clyde Love had it,
I
and
knew Clyde Love had it.
Ron Jones and there were a bunch of people who had that house.
yeah, that's right, Brian Jones had that.
It's a very unique house, if you
It is.
look at it.
It is. Any other questions? Call the roll, please.
Yes, ma'am. Shadle,
Aye.
Wade,
Aye.
Ben Berry,
Aye.
Bradford,
Aye.
Shramky,
Aye.
Chair Casillas.
Aye. If there's no other business to come before the commission, we stand adjourned.